If they come to you and tell you their other close friend's business, then what makes you think that they will not do the same to you? Just pay close attention. Like, what was the state of my relationships before this person came into my life? Hey, if you're new here, my name is Avrielle Muse. And if you're not, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about signs that they are not friendship material. In 2024, we all need to collectively increase our discernment, okay? Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? In all seriousness, on our journey to meeting God-given friends, it's so easy to overlook the negative things because we actually don't know what to be on the lookout for. We need to pray about every single person that enters our life or re-enters our life because familiarity does not always mean safety. God has been showing me the importance of discernment more than ever before. And if I'm honest, I have let people get close to me that should have never been close to me because I never prayed and asked God what He had to say about their hearts and what He had to say about what position they should hold in my life. Sometimes people can be incredibly kind, magnetizing, loving, patient, etc. And it's easy for people like that to get so close to you to the point where by the time you realize that there are some negative red flags, it's already too late. You're already really deep in. When you love and care for a person so much, they can cloud your discernment. So I just want to make sure that you know what to be on the lookout for. If you see any of these qualities in any of your friendships, please make sure that you take it back to God so that He can tell you what He has to say about that person, because at the end of the day, I think these are huge red flags. But if you take it back to your friend and they're willing to change and work on it, then amazing. But if not, I would not advise in continuing in a friendship with somebody that has these qualities. So let's get into it. So this one is a big one. This one is they mistreat you in conflict. This is such a big deal because as you are in relationships with people, conflict will arise. There's going to be misunderstandings, miscommunication. It's normal. It's all a part of the relationship game. But what's most important is how this conflict is handled. Conflict requires trust and safety. Can you imagine going to somebody about maybe something they did that hurt you, and then you end up walking away feeling more frustrated, more hurt, more in pain than you did when you initially approached them? And that can often happen when you're in conflict with someone that doesn't know how to navigate your feelings and your emotions correctly. A good friend seeks to understand you and love you well through conflict. Even if they don't understand, it's so important that they handle your emotions with love and care and gentleness. You should be able to talk things out with the person you're in a relationship with in a healthy way. Do they give you the silent treatment? Are they loving? Do they take ownership and accountability when they hurt you? Do they apologize? Do they empathize? These are all important questions you should ask yourself about your friends, because if they can't handle conflict, then that means it can make a level 1 issue quickly turn into a level 10 issue. And if your friend cannot handle a level 1 issue, what are they gonna do when things become a level 5 issue or a level 7 issue or a level 10 issue? You just want to feel so safe knowing that you can go to this person and they can handle your feelings well. The next point is they subpost, they subtweet, they subthread, whatever you want to call it. I can't stand this because I feel like this is just so clear that they are passive aggressive. Your friend should be able to go to you directly and talk things out with you in a safe and healthy way. This is a small thing, but it speaks volumes to me. Because passive aggressiveness does not get you anywhere in a relationship. It shows that they aren't a safe place, and you just want to make sure that, hey, if we're ever in issues or if there's anything that ever comes up between us, I'm safe with you. I know that you're not going to go to social media with our problems. You're going to go to me. I have scripture to support this, so let me pull it up. It is Matthew 18:15-17. If another believer sins against you, go privately and point out the offense. If the other person listens and confesses it, you have won that person back. But if you are unsuccessful, take 1 or 2 others with you and go back again, so that everything you say may be confirmed by 2 or 3 witnesses. If the person still refuses to listen, take your case to the church. Then if he or she won't accept the church's decision, treat that person as a pagan or as a corrupt tax collector. Basically, disassociate yourselves with them, because if they don't want to do any of this or they don't handle any of this correctly, then you don't want to be in conflict with this person let alone be friends with this person. This is a big one. They plant seeds in your heart about other relationships you have, other friendships you have. Instead of encouraging unity and peace, they actually encourage contention and strife and division. You do not want people in your life like this. Just pay close attention. Like, what was the state of my relationships before this person came into my life? Pay really close attention to that, because sometimes it's not even always verbal. Sometimes it can actually be spiritual. Sometimes people will come into your life and they bring a spirit of contention with them that can affect the environment in your other relationships and cause discord and cause issues. That's something to be on the lookout for, because even if it's not always verbal, it can be spiritual. They can sometimes set off the spiritual environment in your other relationships and in your life. And other times it is verbal. Other times they are saying things that they shouldn't say about your friend. They might say, oh, did you realize that she did this? Did you realize that she said this? And all the while your other friend is like, bro, I didn't even do that knowingly. I didn't mean to do that. So you just want to be on the lookout for that. Proverbs 16:28 says, a troublemaker plants seeds of strife. A gossip separates the best of friends. Listen, the book of Proverbs has so much tea. Man, it has so much wisdom in there. And it's crazy how much I was able to find in the book of Proverbs when it came to supporting the points that I was making. Another major friendship red flag is when they tell you other people's business, okay? If they come to you and tell you their other close friend's business, then what makes you think that they will not do the same to you? In my life, whenever I've seen this happen, I'm always closed-lipped. I'm always so careful about what I proceed to share with this person from that point on, because at the end of the day, if they're not gonna honor their other friends, they're definitely not gonna honor me. You feel so safe with a person who you know that, hey, anything I tell you is kept in confidentiality. You're not gonna go and share it with Tom, Dick, and Harry. You're gonna make sure that it remains between us. Unless you ask me and I say, hey, can I share this with this person or whatever the case is. You want your friends to feel like their heart is safe with you. The things they share is safe with you. So if someone is in your life and you realize that they're constantly sharing information with you, that is a huge red flag. A lot of times people like this will do it in a way to gain your trust quickly and build trust, false trust with you quickly, so that you can let your guard down and start to share information with them. But it's not real vulnerability, guys, because they're telling you other people's tea, not their own tea. Be on guard about this. Be vigilant. Some of the things that I'm sharing in this video are so subtle. So you gotta be vigilant. Proverbs 11:13 says, a gossip goes around telling secrets, but those who are trustworthy can keep confidence. I can't stress this one enough. Another major red flag is you catch them in lies or over-embellishing stories. This one we really don't even need to go into it. You want to make sure that you're friends with truth tellers. You want to make sure you're friends with people that love the truth and don't over-exaggerate things to benefit them or try to paint a picture that makes it look good for them when in reality they could have been the one that was the problem all along. Just make sure that you're in relationships with people that love the truth, that love honesty. It has to be a high value for them, because if not, they will lie. And liars are dangerous. Growing up, my mom would always say, my mom's Jamaican, so she would always say, a liar is not far from a murderer. And listen, I don't know how true that is, but that's something she would always say to me, or she'd always say, a liar is not far from a thief. So listen, maybe that's extreme, but it has been burned into my brain since childhood. And I think that is why I love being honest. I love honesty. It's so important to me. It should be a high value for you and a high value for people you're in friendships with. The next sign is they don't reciprocate, they don't initiate, nothing. You're basically doing all the legwork, okay? You're the reason this friendship is even standing. I've been in that position and it really sucks. You just don't want to be in one-sided relationships, period. Friendships that are one-sided can feel incredibly draining because friendships are supposed to be give and take. There may be seasons where you give more than you take, and there may be seasons where you take more than you give. But as long as it balances out in the long run, you want to make sure that as much as you pour into this person, they are pouring back into you. If not, then this isn't a friendship, it's actually a mentorship. And there's nothing wrong with mentorship, but it sucks when you go into a friendship thinking you're also going to receive when in reality, you're not going to receive. And that can really set you up for disappointment and discouragement. So just make sure that this person also wants to pour back into you. And not only do they want to, but they also are able to. You also want to be able to make sure that you're in friendships with people that have the capability to pour back into you and have the wisdom to pour back into you, because not everything that somebody says, not every advice somebody gives is good wisdom and godly wisdom. So that is a huge one. Proverbs 27:9 says, the heartfelt counsel of a friend is as sweet as perfume and incense. I know for me, when I really need a friend to give me some advice for a timely season, nothing feels better to know that, hey, you're giving me the right advice and it's for this specific situation and I need that. It just feels so good to be poured back into and to just have that person speak wisdom over your life. The last one I'll say is they consistently believe the worst about you. This one sucks, okay? Because good friends believe the best about you. As I was saying earlier, in conflicts, sometimes there's a miscommunication, or, maybe you did something that ended up offending your friend and you really didn't mean to. It's important that you have a friend that believes the best, that always remains hopeful and has a posture of hope. If they do not, then you will do something and they'll automatically assign and label you. And it can be really painful to have your character assassinated over a simple mistake, a simple miscommunication. That's crazy. I remember years and years ago, I had did something positive for a friend. I had lent her money or something, and she ended up turning around and saying that I did it for my own selfish reasons. And it was so painful for me because it couldn't have been further from the truth. I actually was doing it from the goodness of my heart, but because at that time we had been in so much friendship conflict and it just wasn't a healthy friendship, it ended up being this negative thing that she assigned to me that wasn't even true, and it was so painful for me. Of course, since then we revisited it and she's apologized and we're so good, and I'm just so grateful that all we've learned in friendship since then. But someone who consistently does this is unsafe. Like I said, a good friend believes the best. A good friend maintains a posture of hope towards you. They believe that your heart is always in a pure place, and instead of assigning and labeling, they come to you seeking clarity and seeking understanding, because they know at the end of the day, hey, my friend couldn't have done this maliciously, because that's not who they've shown themselves to be. They've shown themselves to be loving. They've shown themselves to care about me. So if I'm going to assume that whatever they did, it was from a pure place. And if I'm really that unsure, I'm going to ask questions and seek clarity. This video is so important because people will come showing all of the love, all of the kindness, all of the hope, doing all of the things to show you that they want to be in your life. But we need to be discerning, because even though they may be doing all of that stuff up front, the truth is there could be a whole world of things underneath that we have no idea about. And your love for somebody can cloud your discernment about them. That's something Tiffany Montgomery always says, and I know it to be true. There have been times where people have entered into my life, and because they came with all of the light, I didn't realize until there was just a lot of damage done or some hurt that occurred in the relationship that, this is really who this person was underneath. So we need to be discerning. We need to be on guard. We need to be vigilant. People will come into your life because they are jealous. People will come into your life because they want to take what you have. People will come into your life to compete with you. People will come into your life and cause just a whole lot of pain and heartache, when in reality, you should have just avoided them to begin with. And I know that can sound so pessimistic and negative, but not everybody is who they say they are. You really will see the fruit of a person by their actions. And not only that, God knows the heart of a person more than you could even imagine. So pray about every single person that comes into your life. I cannot stress that enough. I hope this video helped you, and please comment below what you think has stuck out to you the most. And please stick around and watch another video. Last year, I believe it was last year, I recorded another video. It was more positive. It was about how to build and have healthy friendships. And I just wanted to do the negative take, or the more negative take, because it's just easy to overlook red flags when you don't know what to be on the lookout for. So I hope this video helped you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.